Well, hello everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, depending on what side of the world you are on. It's Angel Tuccy coming to you. I'm actually coming to you poolside. I'm doing a little lengthy little weekend retreat. I'm here in Cancun this morning, but I want to introduce to you all my favorite branding expert, Rey Perez. He and I are coming on live, so let me see if I can add Rey to this little Facebook Live this morning. We're going to see this. Already here watching. Madeline's watching. Stan Shields is watching. Good morning, everybody. Madeline says, hi, love. How are you? Sharon is here. This is dynamite. This is dynamite. So good morning, everybody. Zandra is live as well. Look, we've got everybody going. And there's Rey. Rey, can you see me?
I can see you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great. Tim Moore is watching as well. So look at all the loves and all the hearts. Carolina's coming on. People are coming on. It's happy Monday morning to you. Amanda's waving. Oh my gosh. Madeline says, hey, Rey Perez. Right? We have a lot of mutual friends because Rey and I have been traveling across the country with Power Team USA, speaking at small business expos together, speaking at Rainmaker conferences together, and we have teamed up to do something really fabulous because when we talk about media and we talk about branding, they go together like peanut butter and jelly, right? They go together just so perfectly. Well, good morning, Rey. How you doing?
I'm doing amazing. As you can see, I'm trying to be as tropical as you. I don't have the real thing, but I'm pretending, right?
I like your fish. Those are great. Okay, so let's introduce. So I'm Angel Tuccy, Media Exposure Specialist. You all know that for the last 10 years, I have been hosting my own radio program, in fact, 2 radio shows every single day from Denver, Colorado. And I've done that for 10 years. I've been on the receiving end of hundreds and thousands of media pitches, and I've helped thousands of entrepreneurs get even more media exposure, helping them kind of navigate through what it takes to get into the media. So then I get to meet somebody fabulous like Rey Perez, and I think this is the perfect match for when we talk about media. If you're going to have that media exposure and people are checking you out and they're following you and they hear you on the radio and they go back to look you up and find the social proof, and what they see, your brand, your image. We've just highlighted you, told everybody you're a celebrity in your space, and now we've got to make sure that that matches. And that was not my expertise, but that is exactly what Rey brings to the table. Rey, give us a little background about how you ended up becoming the authority, branding authority expert.
Yes, thank you, Angel. And it's so true. Like you said, I meet a lot of entrepreneurs and business owners and people out there who are focusing all this time, money, and energy into getting all this media exposure. And they are getting it, but they're not seeing the results and the return that they actually desire because they're missing one big component. And that's the foundation, which is called their brand, their personal brand, as I like to call it. Because when people get attracted to you by your exposure, by the media that they see you, where do they land? And where do they consume the rest of the information? And that's on your personal brand. So, the reason and how I got into doing what I'm doing was I wanted to be more effective at my sales of my business, which is live event coordination and video production. I have a company called AMP Productions for almost 13 years now. And I just wanted to figure out, how can I get more business? How can I close more deals? Which I think is everybody's question, right? How can I get my services out there and get more clients? So what happened was I had my production team get testimonials from some of my clients. And when I started listening and watching the testimonials, I started realizing the majority of my clients gave testimonials about their experience working with me. They would say, I love working with Rey Perez because of his integrity, because he's got so much energy. He treats my business as if it's his business. And I started to realize that nobody was really talking about my company as a whole. They were more talking about me and my team. And then the light bulb kind of went off and I said, wait a second. My business, my website, my logo, doesn't actually help me sell more. In the end of the day, the person that's generated all the sales over the last 13 years is this guy right here. And if you are in that similar type of situation in your business, if you removed yourself out of your business and you went with me on a trip around the world for 6 months and had no internet access and no phone access, would your business continue to make sales? If the answer is no or not that much, then you are what's called a personality-driven business, just like me, just like Angel. And what that means is people are buying from you because of you, not because of your product or service. And I'll explain to you why. Most individuals who have a product or service or business have competition, right? Everybody's got competition. And when you analyze their product or service, and you analyze the competition, everything is relatively the same. It's more, AT&T Sprint, which one's better? Honda, Toyota, which one's better? We can argue for hours, but in the end of the day, everything is relative. What makes the biggest difference and why people will buy from you is the relationship, the trust, and the credibility that they feel from you. And if you haven't realized that, or if that light bulb hasn't clicked, I'm here to tell you that it really has to do with you. And when you figure out how to take your personal brand to another level so that people can connect with you faster, can build that relationship of trust and credibility in a shorter amount of time, what ends up happening is more people choose you to do business over your competition. And that's the real secret that I think that I've discovered for myself. And now I get the honor and pleasure to share this with entrepreneurs and business owners all across the world, just like Angel. And now I'm so excited because Angel has decided to partner with me and Don Moore, who's a sales communication expert. And we're now coming together to launch what's called our Brand in 2 Days event. And it's in Miami, Florida. It's a 2-day event where we will build your entire brand from head to toe. I will be leading that section. Then once we have your brand, we're going to train you on how to get massive media exposure, where Angel comes in as the expert. And we're also going to work on your language, because language is the most important part of marketing, your sales communication, and that's where Don Moore comes into play. So I'm so excited to be bringing this powerhouse, this trio, this trifecta of energy and amazing people together, because now people are getting 3 times the value for the same price. So Angel, I want to kick it over to you and just kind of share your experience by going through the Brand in 2 Days yourself last month in August.
Well, excellent. And I would love to. I want to just kind of circle back around too, to remind, what you said is, I think so often we think that it's our logo and it's our product and it's our website, right? That everybody's falling in love with us. But no, it really is that personal relationship. People follow people. And when we recognize how valuable our personal brand is for our clients, I've seen some other companies where even in like network marketing, this is huge if you're in network marketing, because it's not about the brand or the company. If you change companies, if you do something different, people follow you because that's who they built the relationship with. Even in sales, if you've ever had a salesperson who worked for one company, but then they moved to another company, you follow the person, because that's who you were really connected to. And I see some really incredible brands here, real powerhouse brands here watching. Tina is here from Serbia. Martha, her book is coming out. Brand new authors on the board. Ricky Lee, competitive ballroom dancer. Zandra Evans. This woman's got star power. She's starting her own television show. Author, speaker. Oh my gosh, look at all of this. We've got some real powerhouses here when it comes to personality-driven brands. And this is one of the things that when I met Ray, I was hosting a radio show. And so what I was branding was my radio program and the radio station. And it was all about the radio station. It was all about the radio program. And then started to recognize that really it's people are following the actual hosts. And it's the hosts that people are following. Not, I could switch programs. I could switch stations. I could switch radio shows, and they would still follow the host. That's a personality-driven brand right there. So I I was hesitant to say, am I really a personality brand? Am I really imaging? Is that necessary, or do I need it, or do I really fit the mold? But the more I listened to you, Ray, the more it made sense that absolutely it fit the mold, and that I was the one building those relationships, and I was the one making those connections. So I started to see some of the other results you were getting for some of the other speakers on tour, and not even, I mean, it doesn't even have to be a speaker, but just other people that they are the face, they're the sales, they're the ones that people are connecting with. And I was watching the results you were getting for them. And so I thought, okay, this does make sense. It finally clicked for me. I liked the results I was seeing. But even still, Ray, nothing prepared me for how blown away I was going to be once I went through and I got my images, and you guys worked with the language, you worked with the images, you worked with my title, like everything. I was blown away by the experience. And right there, just like instantly, I felt like I was a brand. And that, just even before I even put it out into the world, there was instant results right here. Does that make sense?
Absolutely. I'm so honored, first of all, and it's amazing that I get to hear this story now, and we're actually on Facebook Live, because the reality is everybody that's watching right now, you're hearing her story, but I'm hearing the story for the first time because I've just been working, creating, doing stuff, and we haven't even had a chance to have a conversation about her experience, except one thing that her and her husband Jay shared with me, which was, Ray, your event in the world of business events is like Disneyland. That's what they told me. And I'll let them share what they mean by that afterwards. But I just will never forget that. And I appreciate that. But it's so interesting because I've watched Angel over the last 6 to 8 months be right next to us in all the events and all the expos and all the speaking tours that we've been doing. And she sees the branding, she sees the other speakers, and I've seen her watching, but she's like, yeah, I'm going to work with you. But she just kept on holding off. And I was like, man, when is she ever just going to click for her? So it's amazing that like 7 months later, she finally says, okay, let's do this. She comes on board, and like the light bulb, it's not even like the light bulb, it's like the power plant just went off. And the difference that I've seen in you, just on how you like you feel like Superwoman type of stance. Like you even said it, you had your branding behind you, you felt like Superwoman was standing there. And that is one of the things that no one really ever talks about once you have a solid brand. It's how powerful you feel. And the more powerful and confident you feel as a person, the better that's going to translate to everyone you're going to work with. Because guess what? People want to work with confident, powerful people, and they want those results for their business. So until you said that, I knew that this was something that would happen, but I never vocalized it to anyone about, you know, you're going to have a better presence. You're going to be more trustworthy. You're going to be more credible. But more importantly, you're going to feel like a freaking rock star. You're going to feel like Superwoman and Superman. And that will change the energy that you put out into the world, and that translates for people. And they're going to want to work with you. Because one of the things for me personally, and I hear it over and over and over again, is that people feel the energy and they feel that power, and then they are attracted, and they don't know why they're attracted to you. But this is one of the most important things that I can't explain what energy is, but I do know it works. And I do know that when you have a solid brand, your language, your look, your imagery, and your consistency is together, you will feel the difference, and you will put that out into the universe, and you will attract more of what you're looking for, which are those perfect customers. So I'm so excited and so glad that you got to experience that. And I want you to continue sharing a little bit about that experience at the Brandon 2 Days event.
Well, it really was. It really was, Ray. It was like the Disney experience of business. Everything that you did, the attention to the small details, and making everybody feel, I mean, it was really magical. It was really magical. And, you know, my kids work at Disney, so I had just come from Disney. Before I came to see you, I flew from Orlando to Miami to go through the branding experience. So I'd just been at Disney. I just felt all that magic and all the, you know, paying attention to what they do for customer service. And then I'm there at your event, and I go to a lot of events, right? We speak at a lot of events, and So truly, yeah, Ray's the Disney of the branding. You know, his event is the Disney of the business world, and so I appreciate that. And the very first time that I spoke with my branding image, it was on the screen behind me. I told Ray, I felt like Superwoman was standing behind me, and that I had my team. It was, I mean, it was just me, but I felt like Superwoman was behind me, and I could just accomplish the world. And it has elevated who I am in the business space, and finally taking ownership. I'm a little bit slow to the gate, and I always kind of have been when it comes to making, I don't know, just stuff about me and myself. I can see it in other people, always faster than I can see it in myself. But thank you for being patient and walking me through that, and just, yeah, and just being there for me. You were never pushy, Ray. You let me get there in my time, and so I appreciate you, and I've really just come to just really value our friendship. And so now we are partnering together, like he said, with Dawn Morse. She's all about language, sales, and communication. The woman, when it comes to vocabulary and language and elevating the communications that you're speaking to your audience, she's a wizard in this space. And the three of us in one weekend event, giving you everything that you need to just launch yourself, you know, into this elevated space that you know you've got it inside of you, but the world doesn't always know it, right? The world doesn't see it because there's these fragmented pieces. Maybe our language isn't quite right, or our images aren't quite right, and we're not really putting ourselves out there in the media, and so it's fragmented. And so the world isn't quite caught on to how fabulous and powerful we really are. And that's what I think this Brandon 2-day event really provides. Yes, you walk out with real tangible things, but I think, Ray, the biggest result is instantly right in your attitude, right in who you know, and what you know you're going to be in the world. Does that make sense?
It's amazing because, you know, one of the first things I tell every client that's going to work with us or attend our event is the first thing we're going to work on is your mindset. And this is something I've been doing for years. Every mastermind, every group I've attended, every high mentor level shit that I've ever had, it's always been about the mindset first. And once you get that right on point, then everything else will fall into place, because skill set is awesome. Like you said, having these tangible products is amazing, but if you don't have the right mindset on how to use them and why you're using them, then that falls short. And the thing I want everyone watching now and watching afterwards is to understand that Angel, myself, and Dawn have our own businesses, and we have our own niches and our own specialties. And we've been providing our own programs for a very long time now. But we've watched each other have customers that want to work with each one of us, but can't necessarily afford to hire all three of us. So because of that happening over and over and over again for months, we have actually decided to come together for you, for the clients. We want to provide 3 times the value for you at no additional cost. It's the price of the program is not changing, but we're giving you 3 times the value. So you're going to be able to do your branding, you're going to be able to get media exposure consulting and sales communication consulting. And the best part is you get private one-on-one time while you're there with each one of us as coaches, as we're building your entire brand. So I just want you to understand that we didn't come together so that we can sell, you know, a bigger package or charge more money. We're not charging anything else. We came together because we realized that people need all 3 of our services, and we don't want to make people have to decide or wait until they get that. And that's why we've come together. And from a business perspective, it might not be the smartest business move for us, but that's not our intention. Our intention is always, how can we serve more? How can we help more people? And how can we help you as other fellow entrepreneurs and business professionals go farther in your business? Because we're in this for the long run. It's not about how much money we can make right now. It's how many people we can help and serve and make a difference. And that in the long run will make the difference in all our businesses. So I just wanted to highlight that because I think it's so important for everyone to know that the Brandon 2 Days event has not changed price-wise, but value-wise, it's tripled. And if you are a personality-driven business, which means you're the face of your business, you are the one that makes the sales, you are the one that works with the customer and the client, then the brand in 2 days is probably a good fit for you. We do require an application process. We don't just bring anyone on board. So if you feel that this resonates with you, if you feel that taking your brand to the next level can help your business, then what I encourage you to do is go to angeltussy360.com, angeltussy360.com. Don't do it right now. Do it when this live is over. And once you're on her site, on your mobile, make sure it's on your mobile, click on the contact button. Once you click on the contact button, you'll see a little button that says send text. And what I want you to do is I want you to text your full name and your email address. Angel will receive your full name and your email address, and she will know to follow up with you so we can have a conversation and see if the brand in 2 days is a good fit for you. Because here's the thing, guys. We guarantee you're going to see results. And that is a big thing to say. We guarantee you're going to see results. And the reason we can do that is because we qualify everyone who goes through our brand in 2 days event. And we make sure that we know 100% without a doubt that we're going to be able to provide results for you and your business. So please go to angeltussy360.com on your mobile, click the contact button and click send text. Send your full name and your email, and we will follow up with you and see if you qualify to attend our next brand in 2 days event. Angel, anything else?
I love it. So there's a couple questions that have come up that I want to make sure that we address before we hang up the phone. But it's a super qualified room, which is why we can guarantee results. And there's guaranteed or your money back, because the people that are in the room are a personal brand. They are that power team that we're looking for to work with. And so angeltussy360.com, if somebody wants to type that in the chat box for me, that would be super helpful. angeltussy360.com, so that you guys can click on that. You can send me an email with your full name, your email address, and we'll just have a conversation to see if it makes sense for you to come. And I love, Ray, that we found a way that how can we partner together and not increase the cost, but increase the value in the outcome. And I will tell you, it took many a conversation for the three of us to come together to figure out how do we do that in a way that is still really serving the clients, giving them more of what they're looking for, and in a way that all three of us can actually be there at the event. And so it's coming up. We actually have the next event is coming up in just about 4 weeks from now. And so make sure that you go to angeltussy360.com. Okay, so Robert San Luis says, what about when you're planning to sell your business in the future? And I know this is a concern. People think if I brand myself and it's all about me, then I can't sell my business later. How do you respond to that one, Ray?
I get this question all the time, and it's a great question. And there's three things that I want to address in that question. Number one, it depends on what type of business that you have. So that would be a very specific conversation based on that business that Robert has. But most importantly, if you are the main driver of sales in your business, I need you to understand something. The only way that you will ever get to the point of selling your business is if profitability increases. So what we're explaining is how to leverage the power of your personal brand to increase more sales in your business. Because the most powerful tool that you have that produces the revenue right now is you. So by doing that, you're going to increase revenue, which means you're going to increase the opportunity of being able to sell your business. And the last thing is this. Has anyone ever heard of Tony Robbins? I'm sure you have. Anthony Robbins. He has an amazing business, right? He's a billionaire now at this point, but he doesn't do all the business. He has an entire team that runs it. So just because you're the face of your business, just because you're the one attracting people and you're helping bring in the revenue, doesn't mean you're the one that's going to be doing all the work. And it doesn't mean that you can't actually sell the business. Because if anybody knows about Dan Kennedy and GKIC, Glacier Kennedy Insider Circle, Dan Kennedy was the face of his business. He is the one who built that entire business. Guess what? They just sold the business to someone else. So in the end of the day, it's all about today. How much can you increase your sales? How much can you increase your revenue, your profitability? And this is a way that's going to do that. Because if you keep saying, I'm not going to do the things that are going to increase my profitability today, guess what? You're never going to get to the point where you're going to be profitable enough for someone to buy your business. And no one is looking at it as, oh, you are the face of your business. We can't buy this. When people buy a business, what they're looking at is the numbers. They're looking, do the numbers work? Do they have the client base that we're looking for? Do they have the monthly revenues? They don't care whose name is on it, because you can still sell your name. You can still sell your image and your likeness. That's why Jim Rohn is still out there and operating. That's why, actually, who's the other one? Not Warren Buffett. Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar has been passed for many years, and the Ziglar family has sold the rights to all his work and to all his, his stories, all his teachings, everything. And Kevin Harrington, who's the original shark from Shark Tank, is actually one of my good friends and one of my clients. He bought the rights, and he actually is now creating an entire thing with him and Zig Ziglar, who's been passed for many years now. And he actually bought the rights and is now reselling the information. So you could totally sell your business when it's based on you, and focus on creating more profitability today. Don't worry about the future, because if you don't worry about what happens today, that future is going to be way out there. Does that make sense?
That's awesome. That is an awesome response, because you're right. If we don't have the brand, if we are not collecting the leads, and we don't have that profitability, then it's not going to be successful or marketable later on. And even I was thinking Napoleon Hill, right? Or all the books, all your name, like this will increase the value of your name and make it sellable. So if anybody has any questions at all, if you have a branding question, we have the global branding expert right here on this Facebook Live. If you have a question and you want to ask him, he'll answer it right here on the spot. If you have any questions about coming to our Brand in 2-Day event, go to angeltussy360.com and connect with me there. I know you've talked about some of the success stories that people that have come through. Ray, do you have a favorite of somebody that you did a branding program for that is just one of your favorite stories, or something you'd want to share? Just one example of somebody you worked with.
Well, I have a lot, but one of my favorite is a personal trainer. This young woman would teach individuals how to get fit and healthy. And once we elevated her personal brand, she went from being a personal trainer to a healthy, fit lifestyle coach, which encompasses a lot more than just personal training. And she went from having one-on-one clients and making about $1,500 to like $3,000 a month, to going 100% online, doing online programs through coaching, mentorship, masterminds, and she's doing about $15,000 a month now. And it all had to do with, number one, changing the mindset of who she is, and number two, when she had clarity in who she was and the results that she delivered, she was able to create things she never thought were possible, which was, I don't need to sit there and actually physically personally train people. I can give my knowledge, I can support people, hold them accountable, and I can use technology like this to be able to do that all over the world. So now she's got clients globally. She's making 4 times as much as she's ever made before, and she doesn't even meet with one client personally.
Wow. Okay. So that's an awesome story, an awesome testimonial. Martha she asks a lot of things. Well, Christine says you are at your friend request limit, so she can't become your friend until you drop somebody else. Sorry about that.
Oh, so connect with me on go to rayperez360.com, click on the Facebook link, follow me on my fan page, and I created a new account so I can connect with people. So just click personal on rayperez360.com, and you can connect with me there, because I got 2 accounts now.
Okay, then let's see what else we have. Marie says, what 3 things do you focus on in branding yourself?
Number 1, what is your expert title? Who are you in the world? It doesn't necessarily have to do with the business that you're in. I get a lot of times questions, well, I have 3 businesses. How do I market them? Well, you don't have to market them. You have to market yourself. And once you can figure out what your personal brand is and people feel that you are trustworthy, you're credible, and they listen to you, then you can share any business that you have. That's the one biggest mind shift that we have to do with all our clients. Your personal brand is not contingent on your business. Now, yes, it can coincide. Yes, it can connect, but it is not contingent on your business. Your personal brand has to do with you. And a lot of the in-depth branding strategy session that we do is figuring out who are you in this world as a human being? What's the value that you bring to the table? Why are people going to want to connect with you? Because once they're connected to you, they're going to listen. Once they listen, you can share anything that you want. Number 2 is USP, unique selling proposition. You must have a unique selling proposition. Why? Because it's what you do for your clients. If you are not 100% laser clear on what you do for your clients, then people are not going to be interested in connecting and following up, because no one cares about what you do. They care about what you do for them. And most entrepreneurs, most business owners will spend so much time talking about what they do and not talking about the results that they produce for people. And that's where they lose the connection immediately. And number 3 is having a brand presence visually that's omnipresent, meaning the same look, feel, and language needs to be everywhere that you can be found online, because consistency equals credibility. And when you have all these different social medias and your photos are different and your language is different and all these different things, people get confused. And if people are confused, they don't buy. Is that good?
That was awesome. Those are some great nuggets. I mean, right in there, you got a whole branding workshop right there from the global branding expert, Rey Perez. So thank you. Give him some love. Give him some thumbs up. Tell him you appreciate him just pouring into you this morning. Martha says, how do you build $1 million website with a baby budget? Is that really your expertise, Rey? Can you take that one?
Well, first of all, my first question would be, what do you mean by $1 million website? Are you selling a product on your website? Is the website itself going to produce $1 million? Is your service going to produce $1 million? We have to get clear on the question. But what I can tell you is this. In my experience over the last several years of having multiple websites, I have 5 websites, 5. But not one of my websites has actually produced me $1. Not $1, none of my websites. So unless you're selling things online and you got an online business, if you are a personality-driven business like me, then you're going to use your website as a tool to support the communication that you put out into the world. So the way I use my website is when someone's interested in learning about my services, then I can direct them to my website at that point in time and say, take a look at some of the work we've done with our clients. Look at some of our testimonials. Look at some of our videos. But nobody goes to my website and says, oh my God, I just found this guy online. I love this and I want to buy and I want to give him $5,000. It doesn't work that way. And if anybody has that, please let me know, because I would love to learn from you how you do that, because I don't know one person in 15 years of doing this that's ever been able to achieve that. Now, what I do know is this. I do know that social media is a more powerful tool than any website. So if you have a baby budget, I wouldn't even worry about building a website. What you need is called a 360 site. And obviously, Angel, go to angeltuccy360.com or go to rayperez360.com and you can see what ours looks like. If you go to my360sites.com, you can see something that we've created, which is a tool for entrepreneurs and business owners who need to get themselves out there faster and don't have the budget to build a nice website yet. Why? Because people are more interested in connecting with you through the channels that they're comfortable with. Everybody has a different social media preference. Some people like Facebook. Some people like LinkedIn. Some people like Instagram. Some people like Twitter, Donald Trump. Some people like YouTube, right? It really depends. So what I educate everyone on, it's not about what social media you like. It's about being accessible to people on the social media that they like, so they can consume your information and digest it the way they feel comfortable. You got to give your potential clients the power. If you give them the power, they're going to feel a lot more close to you. They're going to feel connected. They're going to enjoy being able to learn about you. That's why we invented the My 360 site platform. This is a platform that allows you to connect every single way that you can be found online, whether it's through social media, whether it's through your website, whether it's through videos, email, text message, WhatsApp, you name it, everything is on this one connection hub. So my advice to you and any entrepreneur or business owner that is like trying to spend money and time on building their first website or redoing their website, my advice is this: put it on hold, save your money, set yourself a 360 site, get your branding consistent across all your 360 sites so that people, wherever they land, wherever they choose to consume your information, they see this trustworthy, credible brand. They read the language, your expert title, your USP of who you are and what you do for them, and then they're going to want to connect with you. That's going to open up the conversations that allow you to move to the direction of sales, which is what you want. But the first and most important thing is build a relationship, build a connection. Because if people feel connected to you, they're going to choose to buy from you opposed to your competition 9 out of 10 times, even if you're more expensive. Does that make sense?
Excellent. And she's giving you lots of love and hearts and thanking you for that. Martha, if you've checked out my 360 site, you can see exactly what Ray is talking about. And you all know I don't have a corporate website that I'm using because at this point, it just isn't necessary. And I'm still, we're all still in developing, but this is a way that people can follow me, connect with me. They can see I've got an online presence. And that's it. People want to build relationships. They want to know that you're accessible and that they have access to you. And that's what the 360 site has been able to do for me. Tracy, she says that my 360 site has increased my income exponentially. So check it out, my360sites.com. But go to my site, click on text me. And if you want information about that, if you want to have a conversation about the Brandon 2-day event coming up in Miami, with Rey Perez, Don Moore, and Angel Tuccy. I'd love to have that conversation with you. Ray, thank you so much for your time this morning. This has been incredible having you and having your brain and your energy. And I want to say thank you. You are pouring into people and giving us, you're kind of shifting the paradigm away from some old school thinking that wasn't necessarily bringing in us revenue, that we're struggling, we're kind of on that hamster wheel and we can't quite figure out why we're doing all these things, but because it's been fragmented, because it doesn't match, because, we're kind of using old school thinking. So you're innovative, you're ahead of your time, you're just an all-around great guy, and I really appreciate you. Do you have any closing thoughts you want to share with the group today?
Well, thank you so much for having me. I really do appreciate it. And I'm honored that you've chosen to partner with me and Don to really bring this to people, because I do know, as an entrepreneur, as someone that's been in business almost 15 years, I know the ups and downs, I know the struggles. So I don't come from a place of being this global branding expert. That's my expert title, right? But who I am is a struggling entrepreneur who's an overnight success after 13, 15 years, right? And I want to be able to share with people in a very short amount of time what's taken me hundreds of thousands of dollars and over a decade to figure out. Our branding 2 days event will give you the information that's taken me over a decade and over $100,000 to create and figure out. And that's really what I'm so passionate about delivering to entrepreneurs and business owners, because I know how much struggle it is. I know that the 80% of small businesses fail within the first 2 years. And if you're one of those entrepreneurs that's 2 years or less, this is like the best thing you can ever do for your business, because not only is it just about branding, we're going to give you marketing sequences, we're going to give you media exposure, and we're going to give you sales communication, all wrapped into 2 days in a live event with several other entrepreneurs and business owners. You don't get this anywhere. I promise you, I give you my word. If you find anything even remotely close, let me know, and I'll give you a free ticket to our event, because I've searched the entire internet, the entire Google, and I've never found an event that in 2 days can deliver this much content, can deliver this many physical completed collaterals, and a marketing strategy that will guarantee you more leads and more referrals than you've ever had before. So once again, go to angeltussy360.com, click on the contact button on your mobile. Make sure you do this on your mobile, angeltussy360.com. Click the contact button, send text, put your full name and your email, and we'll make sure that we jump on a conversation with you and see if the brand in 2 days is a good fit. Thank you guys so much for joining. If you want to connect with me, ReyPerez360.com. I'd love to hear from you and connect with you on all my social medias. Angel, thank you so much, and I'll see you on October at our Brand in 2 Days event.
Absolutely. Thanks so much, Ray. Bye-bye.